Now hand it down.
We ain't hauling anything that you're interested in, mister.
I happen to know better. Now hand it down. All right, you. Now hand it down.
Fox, Tom Fox. That's who did it. I know it.
Mr. Kelly, how do you know it? According to the stagecoach driver, the holdup man was wearing a mask.
I know it by his voice. I'd never forget that voice. Your bandit is Tom Fox.
Well, now, you know what? The captain was just saying yesterday, them bandits that held up that stagecoach, they were real professionals. And I never heard of no Tom Fox. You, Chad?
Well, can't say as I have, Reese.
Well, if you'd have been around Oklahoma, you would have heard of him. I sat on a jury at one of his trials. I tell you, he's a dangerous man.
Dangerous man. Huh. Well, he can't be too smart. I mean, what's he doing in Texas? What's he doing in Texas anyhow, huh? Don't he know we got rangers down here?
Seems to me he's got easy pickings down here, Ranger.
You're very right, Mr. Kelly. Too easy.
All you gotta do is round up Tom Fox.
Oh, is that so, huh? Well, how would you like to come out and help us instead of sitting on them juries all the time, huh?
Reese. Mr. Kelly, your identification of Tom Fox could be the break we're looking for. At least it's a beginning.
And you're saying there's more to all this, Captain?
Does it figure to you, Chad, the gunman being able to hold up a stage single-handed, getting away every time without firing a shot, injuring no one, and no one able to identify him?
Yeah, until now.
That's right. He killed a man. Could have been a mistake. His first.
Well, then what you're thinking, Captain, is that this holdup man...
Tom Fox.
Yeah, Tom Fox. Is not in this thing alone. He's got inside help.
I think so. I want you and Reese to ride over to Dry Wells. Talk to the sheriff, Charlie Gorman. Find out if he knows anything.
All right.
Oh, now, Captain, you know Charlie as well as I do, and if anything was happening at Dry Wells, he'd have wired us. Besides, there ain't been no holdups in Dry Wells, and you know it.
That's one of the reasons I'm sending you, Reese. Been holdups all over the county, but not in Dry Wells. I want you two there. You may find nothing, or you may find somebody named Tom Fox.
Yes, sir. Some of your water, will you?
Ooh, son. Ooh. Tom Fox. Dumbest assignment we ever got. Dumb, that's what it is. Wandering around looking for a man we never hardly ever heard of.
Well, look on the bright side, Reese. Captain didn't say we couldn't ask a few ladies where he is, did he?
Hey, that's true. He didn't, did he?
Let's go ask a few ladies.
Oh.
Let's talk it over.
Talk has been done, Cale.
All right, what's going on here anyhow, huh?
Just discuss a little business, friend. Nothing to concern you.
Well, it concerns me. Well, it just don't seem fair. Hate to see a man talking against these kind of odds.
You hate to see, friend.
That's right.
Just step aside and keep walking.
No sense in us both getting dirty, Chad.
Well, no sense at all, Mr. Bennett. us.
You all right?
Yeah, we'll march this rubbish over to the sheriff's office, and you can sign a complaint for assault and battery.
No,
What do you mean, no?
I mean, I don't want to press charges. Let's just forget it.
What do you mean, forget it? They could have killed you.
No, they wouldn't have killed me.
Will you mind telling us what this is all about?
Look, it's none of your concern. So just forget it. Let's just forget it.
Forget it. Well, wait a minute.
Reese, let's let him have it his own way.
What do you make of all this, Chad?
I don't know. There's something real strange going on.
Well, I never did see this town this quiet, I'll tell you that.
Let's go to the office and talk to Charlie Gorman.
Good idea.
Probably inside here.
Clayton ain't in.
Who's Clayton?
Clayton? Sheriff Clayton.
Sheriff Clayton? Hey, you mean to say that Charlie Gorman's not the sheriff here anymore?
Not anymore, he ain't. He disappeared several days ago. And then they had this here election.
No, we hadn't heard about that.
Well, it all happened sort of sudden like. You know, Finnegan, he backed Clayton. Clayton won it with hands down.
Who's Finnegan?
Finnegan? The new owner of the saloon.
Hey, Chad,
What is it?
you see them three fellas just about ready to go in that saloon?
Yeah, what about him?
Well, one of them looks like Kid Case.
Now, who is Kid Case?
Who is Kid Case? Just about the biggest outlaw over Oklahoma way. Saw him once about 8 years ago.
Are you sure that's the same fella?
I think so.
Well, the only way you're going to find out, partner, is go over there and get a better look at him now. You wander over that way, and I'll hang around here and wait for Sheriff Clayton.
All right.
Pardon me, ma'am, but...
Just a minute, Buster. You ain't got no invite to go back there.
An invite from who?
You got a problem, Mr. Muldoon?
You'd be Sheriff Clayton, huh?
That's right.
Reese Bennett, Texas Rangers. You recognize him too, huh?
Recognize who?
Kid Case.
Why, no, I don't believe I know the gentleman.
Well, come on back. I'll point him out to you. Come on.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't go back there.
Why not?
Well, that's Mr. Finnegan's private poker room, Ranger. He'll be right out. Come on, let me buy you a drink. Now, tell me about this Kid Case.
Well, it comes from Oklahoma.
You're welcome to Dry Wells, gentlemen. I know you're anxious to know why I sent for you. I'll be brief. I want you men to join my organization.
What kind of organization you got?
By way of a quick introduction, let me be after telling you that I intend to organize crime on a business-like basis in the entire state of Texas. I called you men here because none of you are wanted in Texas by the law. And that is the most important. Because after you finish your education with me, not a one of you will ever have to worry about the law again.
What do you get out of all this, Mr. Finnegan?
Oh, well, 25% off the top. Does that sound interesting now?
Keep talking.
Well, rather than bore you with what I'm going to do, let me give you an illustration. Perhaps some of you know or have heard of Mr. Tom Fox. A week ago, my organization learned of a certain gold shipment that was going out on the Laredo stage. We contacted the driver of that stage. We placed in his hand $500 in gold. And 2 days ago, Mr. Fox, single-handedly wearing a mask, successfully robbed that stage of $15,000.
$15,000?
Like stealing candy from a baby.
Mr. Fox, was there a single shot fired during the entire holdup?
No.
Was there anyone injured? Or was anyone able to identify you?
No.
Well, there you see, gentlemen. For Mr. Fox, there was no danger, no shooting, no worrying about the law. Am I whetting your appetites now, gentlemen?
What little tricks you able to dream up, Mr. Finnegan?
There's more. There's plenty more. And if you come in with me, you'll learn them all. Extortion, protection, blackmail.
Texas Ranger with Clayton.
Something wrong?
Wrong? There's nothing wrong. As I said before, once you've been with me a while, the presence of a law officer will never give you cause for alarm. Oh, gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen. I know all this is new to you, and you'll be wanting time to think it over. Well, meanwhile, make yourselves at home. My place is yours. Food and drinks are on the house. We can discuss it further after you've had time to make a decision. Muldoon, me boy, let's see what that man wants. Come on, Fox.
I'm sure Mr. Finnegan will take care of everything. He's a very nice man.
Well, Sheriff, I understand we're being graced by the presence of a Texas Ranger.
Finnegan, this is Mr. Bennett.
Mr. Finnegan?
Mr. Bennett.
Nice place you got around here, Finnegan.
Well, you're a decent man to say so. Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Pity it's getting all cluttered up with garbage.
Would you be spending any time with us now?
Just passing through, me and my partner. Heard you had a new sheriff. Thought I'd like to meet him.
Yes, yes, of course. Mr. Gorman, our former sheriff, disappeared a few days ago. Very strange indeed. We're all very upset by it.
Yeah, town does seem kind of on edge. As a matter of fact, a few minutes ago, a couple of fellas was slapping your storekeeper around.
Did they now? Well, I hope you put an end to that.
We did. Funny thing, though, storekeep wouldn't press charges. Insisted it was just between them. Didn't want to get involved with the law.
That is strange, isn't it?
We thought so. Those three men at the bar, unless I'm mistaken, one of them's Kid Case.
Oh, yes, Mr. Case. I just met him a moment ago. Nice chap.
You think so, huh? In Oklahoma, he's wanted for murder.
Mr. Case, murder?
Among other things.
Well, my, that is a surprise. Would he be wanted for anything in Texas, Mr. Bennett?
Not yet.
Well, that's to the good, of course. I believe in the philosophy of live and let live. As long as a man behaves himself in my saloon, he's welcome any time.
Well, now, that's certainly mighty generous of you, Mr. Finnegan.
Well, I'm a generous man, Mr. Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Drink up, Mr. Fox. It's on the house.
Oh, thanks.
Fox? Tom Fox?
That's right.
Tom Fox of Oklahoma?
Tom Fox of Oklahoma.
Well, this just ain't my lucky day. Me and my partner have been looking for you, Fox. You're wanted for murder. Now get up. You're riding back to Laredo with me. I'm taking you in. Come on.
Is Mr. Fox wanted for murder in Texas, Mr. Bennett?
As a matter of fact, he is, Mr. Finnegan.
He is, you say?
He is.
Well, then you do your duty by all means. And we'll all be very grateful.
All right, Mr. Fox. Now, very quietly, you walk out through that front door. No fuss, no ruckus. We'll both keep breathing. Come on, let's go.
Now what's he got himself into? Will you excuse me, please?
That friend of yours about to slap leather with Tom Fox?
You mean that's Tom Fox?
Just about the fastest gun in Oklahoma.
Facing the fastest mouth in Texas.
Ranger. You know me, you know I can outdraw you. Even with your hand resting where it is.
I never believe nothing I don't see for myself, friend.
Reese, you know what you just did? You just outdrew the fastest gun in Oklahoma.
I did?
Yeah.
Well, what do you know?
You shot him. That I did. I had no choice, I'm afraid.
Now, suppose you tell us just whose side you're on, Mr.
As I told you gentlemen before, success depends upon all of us remaining clean, unwanted in the state of Texas. Now, darling, Mr. Fox no longer fell into that category. He was no longer of use to us.
So you shoot him.
Well, would you be after expecting me to invite trouble into my own home? Ah, believe me, gentlemen, I took the only course open to me. Well, come on now, let's have a drink, a taste of the best. Let's have a drink. A drink to your education.
And you mean to tell me that Reese Bennett outdrew Tom Fox?
You want me to tell you once more? Reese Bennett outdrew Tom Fox.
Fox must have had a broken arm.
I don't. Maybe Fox's gun wasn't loaded.
Forget Fox. He's dead. Finnegan's our primary concern. Now, Reese is still in dry wells. But he can't do anything. None of us can. Until this fellow Finnegan makes an overt move.
Well, from what Chad told us, he doesn't sound like the type to try anything overt.
That's why you and Joe are going to have to work from the inside. I got a letter from Flagstaff yesterday. By some happy coincidence, Zach Johnson and Cherokee Joe have been captured.
Well, it's going to make some people in Arizona happy.
Mm-hmm. Only we're not letting the news out in Texas.
We're not.
No, we're not. As far as anybody in Texas is concerned, Zach Johnson, Cherokee Joe are still at large.
All right. One more time, then that's all. Bang! Hey, kids, here. I got something for you. Come here.
He really thinks he outdrew Tom Fox.
Come here. Here.
My grandmother could pull leather faster than him, and she's been ailing.
How about that, huh? There's one for you. There's one for you. Ha ha, boy, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
You got one for me?
Hey, Chad, I got one right here for you. Good to see you, Chad. Good to see you. You tell old Parmalee to quit looking for Tom Fox?
Yeah.
Huh? Did
Yeah,
you tell
I
him
told him.
how I settled that little matter all by myself?
I told him all about it. Now, come on, I want to talk
good.
to you.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I still don't like it.
There they are. Now, just relax and come on. Hey, Reese, look.
Well, what do those two think they're doing here?
Find out. What are you two doing in Texas?
We're about to run over a couple of Texas Rangers if they don't step out of the way.
I want an answer to my question. What are you doing here in Texas?
Now, are you going to clear the street, or do I have to put holes in your ears?
Now, you wait just 1
Reese,
minute.
it's better just to forget it.
Well, I'm not going to let him get away with this.
Reese, just forget it. Now, come on. We don't
He
want to
put
ask
holes
for
in
trouble.
my hat.
Reese, come
Look,
on.
Dad. Look at what he did to my hat.
Well, it's
just
an old
look at
hat
that.
anyway.
Well, I love
Who
that
are
old
those
hat.
two?
Those two, that's Zach Johnson and Cherokee Joe from Arizona.
Hell, they must be pretty tough. I mean, the way you two backed off. I mean, the... Excuse me.
We don't serve half-breeds in here.
What? Oh!
Who the devil are those two?
Zach Johnson. Zach Johnson and Cherokee Joe from Arizona.
From Arizona? How lovely. Are their names familiar?
Yeah, they operate around Flagstaff, as I recall.
You see the way they made those two rangers eat crow?
You keep getting in our way.
Oh!
I don't know. I just don't know. Chad, I don't like this game. I don't like it at all.
Well, it's all on the line of duty, Reese.
Well, why did he have to shoot off my hat?
Well, because it makes a bigger impression. After all, you're the fella that killed Tom Fox. Me, I'm just a run-of-the-mill ranger. Brave, loyal, and swift.
Mr. Johnson, Mr. Finnegan would like you two to join him for a drink in the back room. He'd like to talk to you.
Cherokee. I don't know who this Mr. Finnegan is. But you tell him. If he wants to speak to us, he knows where to find us.
I'm not one to stand on ceremony, so why don't we get right to the point?
We're listening.
How would you like to be able to continue in our chosen profession without ever having to worry about the law again? In Texas, at least.
Sounds like a nice life.
I could arrange it for you. If you'd be willing to join the organization and let me educate you.
You educate me?
Yes. I know you don't know me. And you possibly think I'm being a little presumptuous.
Maybe you'd better fill us in on your background, Mr. Finnegan.
Well, I'd be glad to. I'm from Chicago, Mr. Johnson. I started on the South Side as a mere boy of 15. By diligence and honest application, I rose to become district boss by the time I was 20. By the time I was 25, I controlled the whole South Side.
You'll forgive me for asking, but why did you give it up?
Me health. Me doctor said I'd better go to a dry climate if I wanted to stay alive.
Ah, and so in the face of adversity, you made a new beginning. The mark of a truly resourceful man.
That I am indeed. Does it interest you enough to consider the possibilities of joining me, little group?
Well, I don't know. You haven't really told us exactly what you've got in mind. And Joe and I have been doing pretty well for ourselves lately.
But the organization has advantages. Now, take, for example, I'm sending to Chicago for my own personal physician. An excellent bullet man. He'll also take care of all your general medical needs. At no cost to you. He's on a regular retainer. Also, funds will be set aside each year for your retirement. In the event that you die before retirement, the money will be given to your loved ones. And in the event of violent or accidental death, the payoff is double. And any dental work you might be needing will be taken care of also.
Oh, you reached Joe on that point, Mr. Finnegan. He's been having trouble with his bicuspid.
Then you agree?
When do we begin?
First thing in the morning, to a long and prosperous relationship.
Reese, sit down and relax, will you?
Well, what's Eric and Joe been doing at Finnegan Saloon for the last 3 days?
I don't know. We'll find out when they contact us.
Well, I'll tell you, this way of doing things just turns my gizzard. I was a big hero in this town. And now I walk down the street and kids got no use for me. Me, the man that outgunned Tom Fox.
Oh, Reese, put that thing away before you blow your foot off.
It just ain't natural, me acting like this. Not natural at all.
Now that you men have finished your instruction in the basics, extortion, blackmail, the well-placed bribe, terror tactics, it's time to assign you each to a specific district. I've divided the state into 5 sections. Darling boy, you're going to have to quit showing off with that gun. I keep telling you, the whole idea is to look like law-abiding citizens.
Ah, the kid's just a little bored. Say, there's an army pay wagon due in Laredo tomorrow afternoon. Why don't we all ride out and take it?
Pay wagon, how much?
20,000 in gold.
20,000?
That's right. Ours for the taking.
Hey, that's for me, huh?
Sit down! You haven't learned a thing. None of you. We don't operate that way. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And you too for putting him up to it. All right. That's enough for today. Class dismissed.
Hiya, fellas.
What are you staring at me for?
Maybe I don't like the way you wear your eyes.
Mister, you're asking for a third nostril.
You think you're man enough to give it to me?
I'm sure man enough to try. Hey, what's the big idea?
The idea? We don't shoot Texas Rangers, remember?
Maybe you'd like to step in and take his place.
You hot-headed fool! Johnson did exactly right. But what are you all standing around for? Pick him up! Take him through the saloon out to the shed in the back. Quickly now!
Sorry I slugged you, but you were simply getting out of hand. Now, we are not going to get Finnegan without a well-baited trap.
You know, if I could say anything but ugh, I think I'd see this all worked out for the best. Well, we wanted to force Finnegan into an overt move, and killing O'Reese here, that's real overt.
You know, you're right.
Yeah, I think it's a real big break. You know, they hang a man for killing a ranger in Texas.
That's right.
Ah, there you are. I was wondering where you slipped off to. You know, you got to learn to stay with the group. Anyway, gentlemen, you can see how the mortar is setting.
So now what do?
We give him a bath.
A bath?
In the nearest lake.
The lake? Hey, I get it. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Neat. That's the right word. No noise, no blood, no corpus delicti. I'm sorry to make you an object lesson, Mr. Bennett. But that darling temper of yours was bound to get us all into trouble. Is the wagon ready?
It's ready.
All right, Muldoon, you know what to do.
Mr. Finnegan, Joe's bicuspid is acting up again. Now, there is no real need for him to go along, so I'll just get him some painkiller and settle him down.
Well, if he's in pain.
I'll be right back.
want to say, Ranger?
If I don't put it, I'll tell you right now.
I got a feeling he'd just be nasty.
Yeah, get me out of here! Get me out of here! I'm trying. Get me out of here!
Hey, come on, give me a hand.
Okay.
I'll cover up the tracks.
Well, here we are. Drowning a Texas Ranger like kids with a cat, while a $40,000 payroll is just begging to be taken.
40, you said 20.
I found out this morning it was 40.
Oh, yeah, and here we sit.
But if Finnegan says no...
Finnegan don't necessarily have to know about it.
Well, how would you keep him from knowing? We would need a cover-up or something.
You could cover up for us.
And leave you free with the payroll?
You'll get your cut, Johnson. You got my word on it.
Well, I suppose I could. But Finnegan is a tough one to fool.
You can handle it. What do you say?
We could be back in Dry Wells before dark.
That's right. I'm with the kid.
Come on, Johnson. We're waiting.
It's a deal.
Good. What about Muldoon?
Muldoon? He'll ride a team horse back to Dry Wells while you chase his runaway horse.
Right.
Hey! You almost drowned me. What do you think you're trying to do anyhow? What are you going to do there?
What does it look like I'm going to do, Reese?
Hey, that's my leg.
I'm going to weigh your anchor for you. Hang on now.
Hey, take it easy there, Joe. You're busting my leg.
I hope not, Reese. Chad's in Laredo setting up that payroll robbery, and you got to ride in and tell Parmalee that the fish just took the bait.
Hey, take it easy there. Easy, Joe. That's my shin bone.
You got another one. Hang on.
I'll tear this place apart. When I get out of here, Ranger, I go.
If there's anything I hate, it's a crybaby.
Chad, ride back to Dry Wells. Tell Eric everything has gone as planned. Tell him to go ahead with the rest of it. I'll take care of everything here.
Right, Kim.
Whoa, where are you going?
Well, I'm with Chad, Captain.
You can't go with Chad, Reese. You're supposed to be dead.
Oh, yeah. Captain,
Captain, I just don't like it, Captain. I don't like it at all.
And what is it you don't like, Reese?
Well, I just don't like pulling out of it. Now, and another thing, Captain, more Finnegan's imported outlaws show up, we're just liable to be in a lot more trouble. Now, Chad, Joe, and Eric, they haven't had the experience of handling these hard cases like I have.
Oh,
you know what
Reese.
I mean? Well, now, Captain, I think I ought to hang around till this thing's finished. Kind of keep an eye on them three, huh?
Reese, you're lucky you're still breathing. Now go over to the barracks and take a nap, or go to the mess hall and eat something.
Well, now, Captain, a man can't live on bread by itself alone. Why, a coward dies 1,000 times more often than a dead man. I mean, a brave man.
All right, Reese. Stay out of sight.
Yes, sir. You bet I will. Yes, sir.
You told me those three were out chasing Muldoon's horse.
Why, those crazy fools. Those three went out and tried to rob that army pay wagon, got themselves captured.
As far as I'm concerned, it's all your fault. You put the idea into their heads.
Now, Mr. Finnegan, sit down. Sit down. Relax. I've been sitting here thinking about what you've been teaching us, and I think I may just have found a way to make it all up to you.
How would you be making it up to me?
Have you ever heard of J.P. Ainsworth?
The big financier?
Right. Well, he keeps some offices in Laredo, and last month he bought the old Baker silver mine for the purposes of reopening it.
So?
So, I have heard that he's going to be in Laredo tomorrow morning for a couple of hours. And I've been thinking, what if Joe and I were to blow up that mine at, say, 9 o'clock in the morning? And if at 9:15 or so, you would walk into Ainsworth's office and make a little proposition.
Protection!
What else? I mean, the man has holdings all over the state of Texas. Ranches, mines.
Oh, Johnson, that's a beautiful idea. You've really been listening to what I've been telling you. I'm proud of you.
Call me Zach.
I will.
Stay here, he says. Don't need you, he says. I knew him when. I knew him when he was stealing apples and need pants yet. I just hope he don't live to regret it. I mean, I told him about those two guys. Can you believe it? I mean, can you believe it?
But Clayton just checked. Them two busted out of jail.
That's not what I'm talking about. I know them two as the real Zach Johnson and Cherokee Joe. What I'm saying is I told Finnegan. If I told him once, I told him 50 times them other two guys is phonies. But does he listen? No, he does not listen. That's what I'm talking about.
He should have listened. The boss made a mistake.
The boss don't make mistakes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But what I'm trying to say is, what with them two being phonies, ain't that liable to get the boss in some kind of trouble?
Yeah. You sure could. Hey, I better keep the boss from making a big mistake. Well, what are you standing there for? Go get Clayton. Well, if it ain't the Ranger, come back to pay us a little visit.
It's not exactly my choice. A lot of places I'd rather be, but I gotta see you keep your nose clean.
Yeah? Well, just maybe I got a little surprise for you.
What might that be?
How you boys doing? Got you covered, Ranger.
That doesn't surprise me, considering the circumstances.
Well, let's get it straight now. How long is it to take you to get to the mine and set the charges?
About an hour.
It's 7:30 now. That should mean... Muldoon! What are you doing here?
Saving you from making a mistake.
Who are they?
Mr. Finnegan, meet the real Zach Johnson and the real Cherokee Joe.
What's that you say?
Mr. Finnegan, I don't know what this is all about, but these two are obviously imposters.
Don't bother to lie, Ranger. I checked them out very carefully.
You skunk-livered yellow belly.
See what I mean, Mr. Finnegan?
This drifter who'd gone through dry wells yesterday ran into Zach and Joe just after they busted out of jail. He thought he was seeing double. So he started asking questions, and here we are.
Ranger! Get over there, Ranger.
Sorry about that, buddy.
What happened?
I don't know. I just rode into town and there they were.
Ingenious. Very ingenious indeed. First you get me men jailed. And then you blow up a worthless mine while I walk into the owner's office and get caught making an extortion demand.
I thought you'd appreciate the subtleties of it.
Oh, I do. That I do indeed. As a matter of fact, you've given me a brilliant idea. Muldoon! Well, now, funny, isn't it, Zach? Your superiors will never be able to prove that you three just didn't accidentally blow yourselves up. Well, maybe funny isn't exactly the right word. How does ironic suit you? Well, I could think of a better word, but unfortunately I don't have the time. Well, goodbye to you, and bad cess. What the devil is that?
Get out of here! The fuses are lit! Get out of here! Oh! Get out of here!
He killed the fuse. Come on, now's our chance to get them all.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Hey, what are you doing there? What are you doing, Eric? Look out!
What do you suppose took Reese so long?
Without us, he probably got himself lost.
Oh, you two. So he squared off in front of me and made it very clear, Captain, that the only way I'm going to bring him in is feet first. Well, I don't mind telling you, Captain, I was just a little bit nervous. I mean, Tom Fox just about the fastest draw in Oklahoma.
Maybe Texas, too.
Well, that's possible, Captain. Anyhow, I had no choice. He goes for his iron, I go for mine. And he dropped like a rock. Well, guess that wraps up another, huh, Captain?
And well done, Reese. Well done.
You know, Reese, I just can't get it through my head that you outdrew Tom Fox.
Well, you just better get it through your head, all of you. And if you ingrates will also remember it was me that saved you from getting blown sky high in that mine tunnel. Just think about that for a minute or two.
It occurs to me the only fate worse than death is to have Reese save you from it.
I'll buy that.
You know something? I don't think he's ever gonna let us forget about it either.